fix their strategy in the mid to late. If they want to use the early advantage, they do get sometimes.
They don't have to get the comeback going. We will see how it shakes out this time around. Picks and bans coming up, no surprises. The Jax is the first ban against Giants, and they take away Betsy Zed.
Yeah, we saw yesterday H2K removed Zed and Ahri from Betsy. So he was playing Lulu mid lane, which is a very different style for him. He's normally the assassin player, and he was put on more utility-focused mid laner, and it worked fairly well because he didn't really do too much in the game itself. Whenever he's been playing Zed and Ahri, he's not been afraid to make the big plays, and it's been working for him because Gambit is a team that allows every player to make the plays. They're there to back you up, and they set it up well so you can go one-on-one if you want to.
Absolutely. You can see these target bans coming out. The Nidalee out of Diamond's reach this time around. And so is Pepinero's LeBlanc. We'll see what he goes for when that is not available to him.
Yeah, we have seen Ahri a few times with Pepinero. Xerath used to be one of his main picks back in the Challenger series. However, he's not able to have the same kind of like snowbally assassin style on a Xerath. It's going to be way more about the team, and that has not worked out for Giants beforehand. So these two bans from Gambit, I like them. You target the star player, and you say, what are you going to carry on now? How are you going to snowball the game for your team?
Well, his next most picked champion is going to be Xerath, but that's a very different kind of champion.
Exactly, yeah.
I feel like that almost puts them in a position to either innovate a little bit right on the fly here, or they then have to try to play something
they could
that
go
Gambit
Victor.
knows exactly. They could. We have seen today. The Rek'Sai's banned away, so another jungler of Diamonds they're focusing on. But I feel like Gambit is a team you really can't ban out, especially not Diamond Procs.
Yeah, he has enough picks. Sejuani has been the go-to once the main picks have been removed. We haven't seen Jarvan from him in a long time, honestly. He played it in the start when they lost a lot of games. Then he stopped playing it. So he doesn't really get affected too much by the nerfs to Jarvan. And instead, they don't even have to first pick a jungler because the two main ones are gone. So there are plenty of options open. Morgana has been a massive pick for both Eddie as a support and, of course, Capuchat as a top laner. But, as you just pointed out on my screen, if you look at the summoners from Capuchat, that's the Hecarim top lane style. No flash. Let's see if he locks it in later.
Yes, of course. They have a lot of options on the board. Eddie's been able to play Morgana more or less well. Let's see what Giants do answer with, because they have two picks to them now, and it looks like we may see the Jarvan again. It's fairly standard. It's probably not going to be contested because, as you mentioned, Diamond hasn't really gone back to it. They don't need to take it now, though.
The Jarvan? No, not necessarily. I think it's because they want to see more lanes from Gambit as well before they want to maybe try and go for potential counter picks. They do have the last pick as well for them, but there's a bit of a running joke that Frederick only plays Jarvan. We have seen him play all the champions as well, so we know that's not true. But it is really his main pick. A bit like Airwax will always go for, or will often go towards the Jarvan. It's going to be the same for Frederick here. So Giants, by banning Nidalee and Rek'Sai, they set up the Jarvan pick fairly well because the top picks are now gone. But they're not really gaining anything or taking anything away from Gambit's side. Also by taking Corki, it's not really been one of the main picks for Pinoy. So there's a lot of comfort picks still open for Gambit.
Very true. And on Gambit's side, well, they're having the Ezreal right now. Betsy did have one game on that. It wasn't quite that effective.
First game, yeah.
It's true. For Pinoy, on the other hand, I don't believe he's played it. So, I mean, I'm kind of surprised that that's what they would go to if that's what they wanted for an AD carry, but they might switch it up here. They still have plenty of time.
Kalista has been one of the go-to picks for Pinoy. Tristana has come in whenever they play Morgana because you got the Black Shield.
There we go.
You put the Black Shield on the Tristana, and then she can get a few hits on that tower every single time. There's been a tactic from them, and as long as you can survive the early game on it, you can get to the point where you really destroy towers. But instead of a woman riding a bear or Poro,
as the skin may be, yeah. Looks like they're going to actually go for the Vi, though.
Yeah, exactly.
So Diamond Procs takes that. I haven't seen him play it. It has been something that Frederick's picked up a couple of times.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he can play just about anything in the jungle. I mean, and Vi's pretty up there.
It's been a pick that's been very popular, like in China, in NA, we've seen it a lot as well, even before the nerfs to Jarvan. So yes, it has been a big pick in other regions. And I quite like getting it, because again, you have these Nidalee Rek'Sai ban, and I don't like people picking double AD carry into Vi. Because that just sets you up for failure when Vi can just point and click on you as an AD carry, lock you down, and whatever follow-up Gambit is going to have, is going to be able to get in and kill the target.
Yeah, a little bit of an odd decision, but that is what Giants Gaming is going for. What do they answer with?
I mean, if they want to run that Lissandra top lane they hovered before, you just put the Morgana support for Eddie. You run Vi jungle, Lissandra top, and you have a fantastic comp to just dive onto these 280 carries. And if you ever get a lead and the vision control, where you can always find the right engage, and Giants won't be able to team fight you. But on their side, I mean, we mentioned how there's a lot of bans towards Pepinero. Ezreal, a lot more passive in the laning phase. Gotta get to Mana Immune and Trinity Force before we really get to see some action from him. It's not gonna be good, guys.
Yeah. Betsy's gonna have to play something different this time, though, because everything he's played so far has actually been taken away. And we've got a Kennen and a Lissandra.
Yeah, so Lissandra mid lane, Kennen top.
Yeah.
For Cabochard. Been one of his main picks as well. Fantastic. Insane team fight from Gambit's side.
Oh, they've got so much single target lockdown and burst. I mean, it's and AoE, when you look at Kennen too, their team fight is going to be scary.
Crazy amount of CC, crazy amount of damage and dive potential, and there's zero peel at the moment from Giant's side. Yes, okay, Jarvan can maybe Cataclysm a target, but that's not going to help you if they're coming from two different sides.
Look,
they can just
look who can get out of it, though.
Exactly, like that's the point
Everyone
here.
can escape except maybe Morgana.
And Giants already showed the Annie, so you know there's not going to be like a Jenna or a Lulu. Maybe there could be a Lulu pick for the top lane, but we haven't seen Worley play that one before. He normally likes the more carry style. But if you don't get some sort of peel now for your 280 carries, you will never be able to fight unless you have a million wards placed around whatever objective you're going to, and you can see every single flank option from Gambit side, and you like kite backwards, Iceborne Gauntlet as well, and you just kite, and never allow them to engage. But that requires one mistake from you as a team, and then you get blown up and you lose.
Yeah, I feel like the Gnar is the best thing Giants can do in this situation. It gives them a decent front line as well as a decent laning phase, but is it too late here, Deficio? Gambit has
It's never too late.
Very scary comp. This is true.
It's never too late.
I mean, this is going to be so hard for Giants to fight against.
Yeah, it will. Giants is going to have to be the team to start the fights. Lock in that lock in the Kennen, so he won't be able to get to your backline. Trying to get on Lissandra maybe, so she won't be able to claw in and pick a target. Like, Gambit has so many options of both kiting backwards in their comp and like disengage with the likes of Morgana, even the CC and control coming from Lissandra and obviously Kalista jumping. And they also have the engage on their side. And there's so many squishy members in a back line from Giants here that if they get to those 280 carries, they die instantly. Like, there's nothing they can do. So for Giants here, and it's a thing they have struggled with in the past, playing around vision control is not a thing they'd like to do. They set up a few wards around the dragon and then leave it, and they just walk away. You cannot do that when you play against this much engage and CC. You have to properly time your wards around objectives, poke, and get the right engage. When you have the front line, Gnar, Annie, Jarvan going in, then you might be able to win a fight, otherwise you will get destroyed.
Yeah, it's going to really be all or nothing, but you guys don't have to be as we load into the game. Why don't you get on Twitter and make yourselves a prediction? Tweet us at LOL Esports with the hashtags GMB win or GIA win. Let us know who you think is going to come out on top in this game. It's certainly going to be explosive. And speaking of, so is the crowd, the stamping feet. They are ready for this game to start. This is going to be the one that closes out Week 7, Deficio, and it's going to be Gambit Gaming versus Giants.
It will indeed. Let's see what Giants wants to do early on with their comp, because Gnar into Kennen is not a good matchup for Gnar. That's fairly easy for Cabochard to control that lane. So I wouldn't be surprised to see them swap around, send the Corgi Annie to the top lane, try and leave Corgi on his own for as much as possible, or long as possible, give him that XP advantage, and try and use that around the 20-minute mark when you got the 2 items completed on Ezreal. That's where you group and you poke. And you are stronger, or should be if you play correctly, and then you can use that timing to get control of the map, or at least like 1 or 2 lanes and a jungle, spot the engage, and that's basically your go-to tactic. If you don't manage to use that 20-minute moment, well then suddenly Gambit can do whatever they want, because their late game as well is pretty scary with the likes of Kennen and Kalista.
Well, the early game's looking pretty scary right now too for Audrey. He gets caught by the Dark Binding. 3 members of Gambit are here. He's gonna heal, but he might have to flash as well. Yes, he will. For the cost of an Ignite, they burn 2 summoners, or rather, a Exhaust, excuse me.
Yeah, Exhaust, good binding from Eddie. Adric back to base. Let's see where he goes now. Gnar sitting in the top lane, so it looks like standard lanes from Giant's side.
He's starting to back though. Oh, no.
They don't have any wards to spot where Gambit is going on the map, because there's only one. Well, there's actually just 3 defensive wards, and okay, there was one. Sorry, I couldn't see it from Cabochard. That might have just been placed by Rydell. So they know if they did spot him on that one. I didn't see if they did. Then they know he's top lane. They are going to swap, as we mentioned. So they must have spotted Copper Shot beforehand.
Very top heavy for the time being, too.
Yeah, you're going to give...
See the Gnar swap down?
So normally you would give Gnar the Crooks here, so he gets level 2 and then he goes down to the bottom lane. But in this case, because Frederick is starting up in the top side, you deny your own top laner farm now, and he's going to be a level 1 Gnar going down to a lane if he goes there early on, because the lane will be pushing, as you can see, Gambit are doing the camp at level 1, so they're not getting a freeze. So that lane is going to slowly push into the tower. That means Whirlip needs to be ready to go down there, preferably not even using teleport, because that's a bit risky in case you get tower dived. So for now, he's staying with Frederick. Might force him to just teleport down.
Yeah, might have to burn that one in this situation. Still with the jungle tag team going on over at the Raptor camp. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, we saw Betsy taken a little bit low a moment ago by Peppy. Still, not a lot of kill pressure from an Ezreal early.
No, that's very true. It's going to be a farm lane for him and giving the roaming pressure to Betsy. But look at what Gambit is doing. So because they know it's going to be the swap, they basically put Kalista on her own from the start. So she can slowly push in that wave and she gets an XP advantage over the Gnar. So when you get that one-on-one lane, Kalista will be able to dive him, basically, or not dive him, but jump him and try and force him away. Giants, however, there are 4 guys on this top side map, so Diamond should not be walking around here.
Yep.
Can't get punished for it.
A little slow to move, and he actually has to flash to get away from that one. Edward was trying to push them off this blue buff, but Giants, they're having none of that. The Dark Bindings are down. There's still 4 members here. You can't contest
Whirlip
even
needs
with
to go bottom
Coppershard.
lane. Whirlip has to go bottom lane now, or he loses too much farm. You're not going to dive anyway to the 2 guys from Gambit. The Morgana's here with the Black Shield. Kennen already got level 2 as well. Oh, sorry, with the Binding from Eddie.
There's the teleport. Oh, the Binding's going to cancel it, Eddie.
That's huge.
Oh, that's big for them.
Whirlip is going to be so far behind now. No teleport. Lost the entire wave. They're just slowly being built up by Pinoy. He's level 3 already on Kalista. If that lane ever gets reset and is in the middle of the lane, Pinoy's going to walk straight forward and just start trading on Whirlip and force him back. Meanwhile, Gambit getting farm on the Kennen.
Another Binding 2 lands on Audrey. He's at half his health. It's very dangerous for Giants right now with the lethality of Edward shooting those Dark Bindings, managing to land them on just about anybody. And this awkward 2v2 right now for Giants, even if they seem to have maybe in theory, on paper, it's not really working out. They're getting shoved in.
Yeah, Kennen is fantastic in terms of trading early. He basically counts as
another 80 carry.
Somewhat of an 80 carry. Funny enough, the old Giants team back in Season 3, the very first split, they were known for Kennen 80 carry on Gym Bones. So there you go, Pyra.
Yeah,
that's a history one.
Them this time.
But now they're getting punished by Kennen. Oh, and obviously a completely new team, so I don't think they care at all.
It's okay. It's always
anyway,
good to learn
random
history
facts.
for history's sake. Thank you.
The point is, Giants are losing this lane swap. Done deal.
Yeah, they're having some serious trouble. Gold's not showing it just yet, but you can see in just a moment the Giants are going to be in a little bit of trouble. Pinoy moving forward onto Whirlib right now. Diamond was waiting in the wings, but he's not really required. Whirlib down to half health himself, and he just can't get any farm right now.
And that's the benefit when you give your 80 carry the solo XP. Your supporter leaves, he goes to the top lane anyway, so he's there to prevent a dive on your top lane at the Kennen, who's going to be in the lane. You make sure your 80 carry gets so far ahead in XP compared to the enemy top laner that it's an easy one-on-one lane for him. And now, as we said here, once the lane resets, well, you just deny farm from this now on your own. You don't even have to invest any resources. Diamond didn't have to be here. He's there for safety. And if Whirlip decides to overextend, then he can kill him. But Kalista on her own is going to have a great time.
Oh yeah, you look at the difference between the top laners. The farm differential is just massive. He does pick up the second Doran's Blade to have a little bit more bite early on. You can see Eddie waiting out there to see if he can get a binding catch on Audrey, who's playing back very safely for the time being.
Yeah. Honestly, now, Ryden needs to go down to this bottom lane and help Whirlip push out the wave. Because Whirlip is in a terrible situation where he's getting barely no farm, and Coppershot is just free farming the top lane because Eddie's there to help him. Ryden is not adding anything in his lane. Anyway, they're not going to kill them 2-2. Have Audrey sit, not get binded, first of all, and just farm. Wait for the wave to push in, make sure Gnar can push out. Okay, it works with the jungler too here from Frederick's side. But you need your Corki now to catch up in levels. You need him to get to a point where he gets at least level like 7 or 9, hopefully, by the time you start grouping. Because you can see for Pepinero, he's gone tier first. So he's aiming for tier into Trinity Force, which would be the standard one. Oh, Pinoy, he might be going a little bit too aggressive now.
Yeah, although he's still able to leap away. Now Frederick's moving around and he's going to discover it. He's actually keeping on going. He flashes forward and he keeps pushing them back. Yeah, he's totally fine in a 1v2.
1 versus 2 as an 80 carry, but you are level 6 at this one. You got solo farm and solo XP. all game long.
Back up in the top lane too. Audrey, another binding is going to connect on the Tormented Soil. Cabochard, Rydal with the stun kept them from even thinking about that dive.
Yeah.
Still, it's not looking good for Giants in this early game.
Oh, that's the thing. They're not really gaining anything in any of their lanes. Mid lane is a farm fest. Pepenev is winning it, however. Pretty handily on this Ezreal. And as I said before, he's early tier. Normally when you see that, he goes into a Trinity Force before he gets a Mana Immune. And that gives you a like 15-minute moment where you get that Trinity Force, you have a tier for enough mana to poke. And luckily, or hopefully, if your Corki has Trinity Force completed at that point as well, then you put those two guys together and you have a strong core to try and make some plays, but it's so hard to pull off. And it's not like Gambit is liking wave in the mid lane when you just have Alessandro sitting there. And Betsy's obviously not going to move if Giants decide to group there.
Yeah, but for the time being, Giants, they're still able to do what they want in the lanes. Let's see if that translates into some further map control. Edward is going to go ahead, throw on the Black Shield to avoid the stun. Clears out the pink ward and throws another one of his own. Meanwhile, Diamond making a trek down to the bottom lane, but so is Rydal. And Edward is there too. This could get bloody.
So now Rydal's gone down here because they've swapped it around. Yeah. Not a nice welcome. You're just coming down to your bottom lane, and then the enemy sends their support and jungler to go and kill you instantly.
Uh-oh. May have been the wrong neighborhood. The binding not going to connect. Audrey, though, is having to have to immediately Valkyrie out of danger. Gambit still flexing their muscles here in every one of the lanes. You look at that farm differential up in the top. Warlip, yeah. He's so far behind in this situation. He's calling on the help of Frederick, but he's not looking the healthiest either.
The only time we saw Giants try and help him was Frederick coming down for a gank when Kalista was already level 6 or level 4 on Jarvan and Gnar. So that was not enough. They should have helped him way earlier, push out the wave if they want to give him any chance of getting some farm. So yeah, he's really far behind. He's going for a Hexdrinker first, which is fine into double AP, into a Kennen lane. Oh, did Frederick get it?
Frederick did get it.
Oops. Not on purpose. Anyway, so the Hexdrinker, yes, it's fine into double AP and into Kennen lane. But for the first team fight, well, you're going to be a lot squishier. And that's just such a problem. I'm not saying Hexdrinker is bad, just that Gnar is so far behind.
Yeah, well, and also the rest of the members of Gambit are so far ahead at this point. You can see Pinoy, he's got the level advantage, and he'd already picked up the Bilgewater. He's able to just move around oh so quickly with that attack speed boost he gets. Audrey is having trouble just trying to pick farm while not being harassed. And now that it's going under tower, they're going to be able to pick it up. But still, it's hard to deal with this Kalista the faster it goes. And Pinoy has really proven himself pretty deadly on this champion.
I have to remember there was a small change to her where you only get 66% of your attack speed in terms of like your hits when you are moving around.
Still making it look like 100. Now Cabochard, he's looking to go 0 to 100. Werlib so low having to burn his flash. Cabochard going to go forward with it as well. Werlib, can he get away? He's got Meganar nowhere near completing. The Shurikens are taking him down. And just like that, we got first blood at 10 minutes.
Possible for him to do anything. Keep in mind as well that Eddie binded him when he was trying to teleport to this bottom lane and get the farm. That was really the first one, and it was such a good move by Eddie. And then the next one where, well, Gnar had already fallen extremely far. This is only going to get worse for him. Dragon now for Gambit. Werlib has to use teleport to pick up the wave. That's a good call.
It's only going to get worse for Giants so far. You can see, so many spears sticking out of the Drake. They're popped, and that is going to get picked up thanks to Pinoy. First Dragon of the game going over to Gambit. They have extended a decent bit of gold in the lead as well. And now back to the laning phase that they've been so dominant at.
That's a Cutlass as well, so they have very good trading potential. Cutlass is one of the best first items to get on a Kalista in terms of just your early damage with the active as well.
I love how Eddie's body zoning this one. He just baits out the stun and throws down the Black Shield in preparation for it, and Pinoy is just perfectly happy, free farming.
Alright, so Werlib had to use teleport back to his lane, which means Cabochard has the advantage in terms of global pressure. If there's a fight, then he can just teleport down behind, meaning that suddenly Giants cannot make a play on the bottom side of the map without respecting the likes of a Kennen coming down behind you and killing you. He already sits on a large rod as well. So this gank right here, unless you instantly blow up a target and disengage, then you should expect the Kennen to show up. There's no ward sadly though for Cabochard to teleport on.
They didn't see that Jarvan either. Or did they? Throw down the Tormented Soil. There we go.
I think they got him before, yeah. He's staying though.
But Pinoy and Edward are going to play back safe enough for the time being. They're going to be able to stay safe. Maybe not from the true shot barrage. The flash. Oh, hello, the Fate's call to pull him away. Eddie, he gets his life saved courtesy of Pinoy. The tower's getting pushed on, but Giants can't find a kill.
I like that setup though by Giants here, using the Ezreal ulti from the mid lane together with the Tibbers. That's quite a lot of burst damage onto one target. Sadly, there is a Kalista, and Pinoy were pretty fast. They are pulling in Eddie, keeping him alive. Now, it's not over yet. Keep in mind that teleport from Cabochard. He can come down now.
Yes, it can. It looks like that's what they're going to do, and Giants immediately bailing out. The Dark Binding is dodged, but it's still a 3v3 here. Edward's still moving forward, going to back off now. However, this does give some breathing room to Warlib to push in top.
And that TP was a bit of a letdown once Eddie didn't manage to connect the binding. We'll have to return to the top lane, but it was a bit of a free one because no dragon, obviously. No chance of Warlib really following him. And Gambit might be able to just push in this tower now if they want. Then there should be a play for Pinoy. Always his first choice on Kalista. Many other players decide for like BT. We have seen standard like in Vintage into Static Shift. I've seen even first build Hurricane. There's been so many different options. The European Kalistas, they prefer Blade first, nearly into every single matchup.
And there it is.
And there it is.
Yeah, I think it definitely works well and suits the style of Pinoy.
It's just less overall damage. But it gives you more.
But they don't mind when the laning phase is going to sit to this point anyway, so they don't need to take the straight team fights. They still have the lead. In this kind of situation, it's great for Gambit. And they're really able to go anywhere they want on the map for the time being. So they've only got the one tower down, but they're soon to maybe take the bottom one. It's about at half his health. I just checked a moment ago. The one on the top obviously had already evaporated. Cabochard's going to continue to make Warlib's life hard. You just see that CS differential double the level at 13.5. A rough start for Warlib.
Cannon in a lane swap and you almost have the same CS as your AD carry. Then you've had a great time. That's for sure for him. Early Outlast obviously also means Cabochard can join the team fights and dive to backline. Now, he might get dove by Frederick.
Yep, Frederick, he's going to flag on in and throw down the Cataclysm. Jumps out as well. Frederick really low. Cabochard, is he going to make the 1v2 play? I don't know. Warlib is getting close to Meganar, but he's not there yet. A double kill. Cabochard with the outplay, and Gambit take a tower in mid.
It wasn't Cabochard being stuck in that Cataclysm. It was Frederick and Warlib being stuck in there with him. He turns it around. We talked about how fed he was. 1 versus 2. Suddenly mid tower goes down because you see 2 guys in the top lane. Well, you suddenly have a numbers advantage elsewhere. Vi or Diamond came in, got that one. Pepinero though, he wants a kill. Dance around these minions.
Yes, the shutdown. So he'll be able to avenge his comrades in arms. However, the mid tower had already fallen. The bottom one very soon to, it looks like, as Pinoy uncontested throws the last spear in it, and it is cooked. Audrey, he could be in trouble too, but he backs away.
5k goal lead at 14, nearly 15 minutes.
Gambit aren't letting up either.
Oh, Gambit are really showing. They are channeling their inner H2K style. Push your early lead.
It's funny that we talked about this yesterday, that they were really more of the biceps rather than the brains in the European LCS, but you know, this is a little bit more variety from them. Clearly, they've kind of been served the game they want on a silver platter here as Frederick is caught on another binding and a whole lot of damage from the Renprox. Bet's looking to possibly finish it off. The Tibbers is going to hit him, but Frederick is going to go down as he swag flags away. It looks like Rydal will as well. Gambit, they turn on the heat, and Giants have to get out of the kitchen.
Yeah, Giants no longer feel safe in their own jungle, and if they ever walk in there, they will expect, or should expect, Diamond and Betsy to sit ready with the rest of Gambit and just kill them. Just classic control. Once you get these outer turrets, you start taking over the enemy team's jungle, and suddenly they have nowhere to go other than back in their own base and around the base gate and inhibitors if they want to move between lanes. Giants decided not to, got punished for it.
That's putting it mildly, I would say, Deficio. So 23 seconds on this next Dragon. Gambit firmly in control of the map around it. Not just there, but pretty much everywhere there aren't Giants turrets. So they should be able to take that one handily, but the Giants, you know, they've got to be able to slow this down a little bit. How can they contest
red buff steal.
Oh, it's not going to go.
Got the small one.
Consolation prize.
Some XP at least.
Got to take what you can get.
Yeah, for sure. Tried the snipe at least. Didn't even have a ward on it, so it was a bit of a wild guess from him.
Yeah, just an effort. And you mentioned the tier into Trinity Force. He did go for the Manamune this time. But I feel like that's a little bit more out of necessity than personal preference.
Well, I guess just, I didn't know if he was forced back around like 5 minutes to get it in. Normally what we see, people go man immune first. You just sit and farm a lane until you can afford to straight up get the man immune. You don't go back first for tier, then go back second time for man immune, then turn to your lane. But Pepinero still is going towards Trinity Force second. Currently sitting on 709 mana. So this is going to be a very fast stacking tier. That's obviously what you get if you go back early and get a tier extremely fast. Doesn't give you any like combat stats in your lane, but it was a free lane for him anyway. He was just farming it really well, so he got to really stack that one fast. There's going to be a man immune, or more mana, I should say. And he's going to Iceborne Gauntlet, so there will be some kiting now coming in from Giants. And once again, this is going to be about them spotting Gambit when they're trying to engage and then kiting around.
You got to worry about the damage potential they have too, though, here, because this is going to throw so much of the burden of that onto Audrey. And he's got his Trinity Force completed, so he does have that power spike. But Giants, the problem is they've entered this mid-game so far behind.
Yeah. Spikes doesn't really matter anymore.
Exactly. It's going to be really, really hard for them to even take a fight. And Gambit, they're playing just too smart. They're out-rotating Giants, and they're really far ahead just in their fighting capability, too.
And this is what we've seen so many teams adapt now, is the safe way of pushing your lead is simply by staying in your lanes and push them up. SK does it, HK does it. We saw Copenhagen do it yesterday against Elements. You simply play around, always pressuring every single lane, so you get full information of the enemy team because they're sitting and defending anyway. And then you just slowly ward up the jungle, and you can see everything. There's no real risk of you getting caught out unless you overextend completely. And that's the only thing Giants can really look for if they want to punish Gambit.
Exactly, and not only that, they're denying any attempts for the Giants to grab any more ground back by clearing out the vision immediately. It's just slowly suffocating them out of their own jungle, continuing to use those routes through the jungle to move in mass into lanes wherever they want to and keep Giants scratching their heads. Continuing to do that here, Giants, they are in some serious danger of having another quick game lost by them. Let's see if they can answer back, though. Gambit still pressuring down the bottom.
And we have to remember it's Giants. They are a team who never gives up and will always try for the comeback. So we can never call it completely over with them. I mean, when they came back against Elements.
This is true.
That was, but yeah.
This is starting to get really, really tough, though.
It is starting to get to the point where they shouldn't be able to come back because Gambit has gotten such a big lead. I just want to say still that I know they as a team believe in it and stay focused.
You have to give them some credit there. We'll see how this game continues as the Flash Tibbers comes in. Pinoy, Eddie are going to be in some trouble, but we'll have to take a quick break. The pause comes in. Oh, that's going to be a tense on pause.
Good setup, though, by Giants. We can just look at it now, how it looks. Obviously, the player's not allowed to remove the headset anyway, so they can't really hear us talk. But that was a pretty nice setup by Giants. Ryle was hiding in the bush and saying, I'm waiting for you guys to push up, and I'm going to try and tip us someone before the Black Shield comes down from Eddie and see if we can create a very quick pick here. Sadly, once again, the Kalista ulti can't really deny you these picks.
Yes, so even if you do manage to get that big catch on the squishy
even
support,
if you stun the guy,
you can get
just pull him in anyway, because that doesn't affect the Kalista when she's using the ulti. So you can have 200-second stun on Eddie. Well, doesn't matter. Pull him in, throw him out.
Yeah, and he's perfectly fine, at least out of harm's way. Speaking of Eddie, see him on the screen there. We'll see what the issue is in just a moment. But yeah, so now you've got the Tibbers down. You've got the Fade's Call also used. I feel like Giants are going to try to have to force the issue, but they don't have a numbers advantage exactly, and since their stun rotation's been blown, it's even 3v3 right now. Both the top laners have the teleport available. How far do Giants want to push this? That's the question.
I think now once they've missed the first engage, and they can also, they know they have only Mininar sitting in the top lane, to Kennen with already 3 kills and ulti ready, I would just back away now and say, okay, we tried, it was a good play, but obviously we can't really see exactly what's going on here. But it does look like Eddie got to safe. Still for Giants, once you get this far behind and you just push back into your lanes, the only thing you can do is what they do now. You try and make a bit of a risky play, see if you can catch Gambit off guard, create a pick or two, because once you get that 1 or 2 kills, everyone is forced to then back away, because you can't keep pushing the 2 lanes. If the bottom lane has just died, you have to respect the fact that Giants can now go from the bottom into the mid lane, and suddenly Betsy pushing there, he has to back away, and you buy more time. You open up the map a little bit more, because now you can walk into your own jungle. You just push Gambit back. You can clear the ping wards there. You can put your own wards down. You might even, if you're lucky with the timing, go towards the dragon. But the main thing now is just getting or regaining control of your own jungle. So you can sit in there and now look for the next pick. And also you can move between the lanes a lot easier once you get 1 or 2 kills. So if they do manage to get the kills here, the rest of Gambit is going to be forced to slightly back away. Cabochard might be able to get something because he's all the way in the top lane. But at least the mid lane has to go back. And then the blue buff area is open for Giants to take over.
Right.
Or
and of course, you know, even if Giants don't over-pursue this, they may scare Gambit into rethinking, pushing too far forward. Then they can grab some of that back. That undoes some of the work, though, that Gambit's been doing to continue to press their advantage and control, you know, 60, 70, 80, whatever % of the map that they've already got. Dragon's not quite near respawning. I believe it was taken fairly quickly just a little while ago. And, of course, we were just notified a minute that the issue in question was related to the keyboard of Edward, but hopefully that one does get fixed up pretty soon. Again, back to the way the aftermath and the ramifications of what this fight ends up being. Even if no one is killed, I feel like Giants, they do have a chance to get themselves some control of their map back, but by the same token, maybe they're the ones with the cold feet to do this because they have blown the crucial spells.
Exactly.
But Timbers is down.
Yeah.
And then do Gambit take advantage of that and press them in, because then it could be disastrous for Giants Gaming.
Yeah, we have to remember Pinoy is sitting on a blade, so he has lifesteal. So even if he does take some damage, he's going to sustain it back. And if they manage to pull in Eddie before he takes any damage either, well, everyone is still full HP. And you just used Flash ulti from your Annie. That's going to be your main engage in the bottom lane. Unless the Jarvan can come in, but he should never be allowed to because there are wards in the jungle from Gambit, so he should never get that flank. Which simply means Gambit has no reason to stop. Because you just used all these cooldowns. You didn't gain anything. Gambit's just going to keep pushing it up. And it's just a matter of time before one of these towers take enough damage for Gambit to take the quick route and just say, okay, we know the mid lane tower is on 50%. Bottom lane, top lane, go through the jungle, get to this mid lane before Giants can walk around and defend it. 5-man, we just instant take it down. That's the risk, because these towers will slowly but surely drop down in health. Once they're low enough, it's an easy and fast rotation from Gambit through their own jungle, where Giants have to run all the way around the towers to take down 1 or 2 out of more and get into a bigger goal.
Exactly. We saw the same thing happening with H2K versus the Wolves, where it was just the defending team was at a disadvantage, unable to use their own jungle routes in that situation. And that's exactly what Gambit wants. They want to keep that pressure up and just completely drive away any chance for Giants to
push
really
them
get
into
involved.
a corner.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
Just keep pushing them in. So we'll see if they can keep doing that. The real question, though, with Giants is, can they make the big comeback? That's always the big thing for them. Can they keep that tradition alive of, even when being completely down, just take an absolutely ill-advised fight, somehow make it work for them? But, you know, they shouldn't have to be in these situations. I mean, this is the big issue for them going forward, and they've allowed Gambit to do that. We are replacing Edward's keyboard, so hopefully we'll be back into this one in just a few. In the greater context of the way that the league's been shaking out too, I mean, every game is becoming a must-win for Giants. MWM, they picked up a couple, so Giants Gaming, they're not safe out of relegation territory.
No, that's true.
And Gambit, you know, this is a hungry team. They want to move themselves back up the standings after, you know, frankly, an abysmal start for them. Once they manage to pick things up and get steamrolling, I mean, they've been a force to be reckoned with, and Giants are finding that out right now. Two
very different teams in terms of the standings. Gambit are looking to try and break into the top 2 and secure a spot in the semifinal. And obviously, Giants are looking behind them, where MOM is sitting only 1 win at the moment away from Giants. So by them losing here, well, again, you never really feel safe. Let's see what happens, though. We're back into the game.
Yeah, we will. Rydell, he's going to go down immediately, and Frederick is going to follow Cabochard with the Zanya style points after the fact. So I guess there's our answer to Fishio. Yeah. No stopping the Gambit train. It's left the station. Betsy taking a little damage on the backside of that, but they're going to be able to take down the tower. Easy peasy.
The Giants didn't even have time to back away before Cabochard came with that teleport and destroyed them. We had the Mininar only for Whirlip, so he wouldn't be able to do anything. And Gambit, quick turnaround, got a tower, 7 kills for 1. 2 dragons, 20 minutes in. They have a lot of options now. Either you go for 5 dragons, you can also just get the last 2 outer turrets on the top side, because now you can put all your focus on those 2 lanes and the jungle around the Baron. Once those towers are down, you go for Baron after. Obviously, you don't allow Frederick to get close, because he has shown that he can steal Baron a few times.
Yes, he has proved that, so they shouldn't be too eager to give them a chance to do it this time. Whirlib is going to take the top tower after much effort, I would say. Now he could be in some trouble, though. Cabochard, Edward looking to capture him in a dark binding, but it won't be the case. He does juke it out. Now Giants, they had a trap of their own set up. Yeah. Cabochard and Edward are going to escape just fine.
Giants were expecting Gambit to at least start pushing in the top lane, and that's why they were sitting ready, hoping to create a quick pick and maybe delay this push coming, but otherwise though for Gambit, go back now, slow push the bottom lane, set 4-man in the mid lane, have your cannon pushing the top lane, slowly push him into the tower, go into the jungle, set up all the wards. Obviously Dragon is spawning at 130 as well, so that's going to be a goal for you, because you're already sitting on 2 for 0.
Look at how quick they're able to clear out anything. That blue buff never stood a chance. 2-0-2. Benoit is now on this Kalista. Cabochard, 4 kills to his name. He has been a massive force in these fights. That 2v1 outplay really brings to mind Diamond looking to make a play. Giants backing away from that one, and it's just turned into a game of chicken for the Giants gaming squad.
And now the bot lane is pushing for Gambit. Dragon is spawning in a minute's time, but they have all the wards around it. And remember, Giants can never face check. When you're running double AD carry, you can never face check a team like this. Pretty much, you can't face check anything. But that should just secure another one for Gambit. Keep pushing in, there we go. We got the push in mid lane, we got the push in top lane. Betsy moving in as well to join the team in the 4-1. Can even go top lane, get a few more wards down, or just slowly push down these 2 towers like they're doing now.
Yeah, True Shot Barrage is going to come in and chips away a little bit of Diamond's health bar, but those waves are being cleared oh so fast. Gambit can keep this one up. And Werlib, he's only got a little bit of time left. Yep, the Mega Gnar goes down. That is going to be Cabochard moving back up to the top lane to do it all over again. Giants, they have to find an answer here to stop this Gambit assault.
Flash is not ready for Rydell yet. They're going to need that one if they want to catch someone off guard from Gambit's side. Because Frederick is not going to be able to get the right engage for himself. So it's going to be about Rydell here with Flash Tibbers. It's up in a few seconds. He needs to pull the trigger somewhere, otherwise these 2 tier 2 turrets are going to go down as well. And there we see
they're the one pulling the trigger.
Right through the jungle.
Oh, there's a big Gnar though. Yeah, Betsy's going to throw down the Frozen Tomb. The smite is on. Here comes the rest of Giants. However, maybe Gambit have overstayed their welcome. Betsy going down to Audrey. Cabochard Diamond trapped in the back. They take out Frederick. Cabochard is going to get blown up by a combination of Peppy and Audrey. But nonetheless, Gambit Gaming still trying to make good in the mid lane. Dragons Live, however, looks like they're going to go back and set up for number 3.
And that was everyone from Giants going top lane to get 2 kills. Mid lane tower was then open. Pinoy picked it up for himself. He's going to get a dragon as well now for Gambit's side. So they can't even complain about the fact they lose 2 guys because they get 1 kill, they get a tower and a dragon. And it's what you have to do. Because when you are that much stronger...
Oh! Okay!
Oh, ran too early from Pinoy.
You know, he may be building blue, but I feel like Peppy's going to be pretty happy after that one.
Big plays.
Holy.
So important. Suddenly this 5th dragon is very delayed, and you get the 6% for Giants. That was huge. And Pinoy not having the AD to pull off that Ren.
No, I think that was a little bit greedy of them to try that without Diamond at home.
Nah, it's fine because Rend itself does more damage than a smite when you get so many stacks on it. It was just he mistimed the damage, simply. Or maybe he likes Giants and he has them in fantasy and he wanted to give them a dragon, I don't know.
Yeah, could help. Nonetheless, Pepinero's able to make good on that one. Giants grab their first dragon after the fact. Still down a significant portion of gold, but they've got a chance to close that just a little bit here with the tower. But Diamond is there. Assault and battery onto Audrey. He's down already. The Mega Gnar trying to help the team, but a teleport coming in now. Cabochard will join the fray in just a moment. Here he goes, rushing forward. Werlib is isolated from the rest of his team. He's locked up. He's taken down, and it is a 2 for 0, even with the True Shot Barrage coming in. Benoit, though, gotta watch it. Pepinero's got some damage.
Pepinero's doing some serious damage here. He's going for it. Missed the mystic shot there. Otherwise, though, Gambit once again. They show what they can do once they get the engage. Blow up Giants. Still, with Pepinero poking so much, will get a tower for themselves. So Giants are slowly trying to get back in the game. Tower now, Dragon beforehand, all about Pepinero. And his damage is scary at this point. 25 minutes in on his world. That's where you want to be. That's where you want to make the plays with this blue build for him in this case. Obviously, Corki is at fairly behind in terms of farm, but there's 2 kills still for Audrey, so he's not even in that bad of a spot. And look at Pepinero again.
Yeah, Pinoy's going a little low. Oh boy, Peppy has to burn his flash to get away. And one thing we didn't really mention too much, he's been rocking the cleanse this game too. So he doesn't have to go for the Quicksilver Sash. I mean, he's got that as a summoner. He could, even for extra, just to avoid being locked down. I mean, I guess that's one way to deal with a Vi. Or Lissandra, for that matter.
Yeah, sadly, though, and this is one of the annoying things when you play AD carry in solo queue as well. I've talked a lot about solo queue today for some reason, but QSS doesn't do anything against Vi. Sadly, as she's still going to target towards you and not go.
Yeah, like she still goes, you know, it's a little bit more useful for things like a Zed.
Yeah, you need it for Zed. You need it for, again, like
but she's
CC.
still already closing the gap on you.
It is a knock-up coming in from Vi, so sadly you won't really be able to stop that one. Same goes for like, you know, the Nolda's ulti. Won't be able to QSS that bad boy.
Diamond could be caught up here. Giants, they're going to collapse on him. Pepinero, he's going to get his second kill of the game. We talked about him being really the linchpin of this team. And he's really making the big plays for them this time. It was a little bit more cleanup duty in that situation. But still, he's the man that Giants can follow into battle.
He's the big carry. He's going to have to beat again for them. He's the Fed guy on his Israel. Almost 300 CS, 27 minutes in.
Well, it would be a big comeback, but we have seen Giants pull off a couple of those upsets before. Still, Gambit Gaming hold a significant lead in this game. It's 27 minutes in, but they have slowed down their pace a bit.
You're going to need a blue buff on this Israel, and then a fight out in the open where you see Gambit and you don't allow him to engage on you, and then Pepinero can still jump around and poke you down. Sadly, though, Gambit is not exactly going to give up the map control to Giants, and they're going to keep looking for engages every time they have the chance.
See hero, kill hero, wash, rinse, and repeat. That's what Gambit's looking for. They're standing on a ward right now. They're going to realize it, clear that one away. Giants Gaming, though, seen in the last few minutes, they've definitely played a little smarter, more pick-oriented strategies, trying to make sure that Gambit Gaming can't get anything else for free. Dark Binding going to go wide. Peppy pushes Edward back, and they've got the wave with them right now. But no one's going down to deal with Cabochard just yet.
He's going to be able to push up at least a little bit. He has no teleport just yet, so Gambit want to wait for that one to be ready. He can just set up the slow push and then walk up towards this Baron here. Giants has teleport ready, meaning Wallop should be back there to push back the wave before it builds up too big. But it's not a slow push by Cabochard. He actually just cleared the wave, so it's not going to be that big of a deal for Giants. They just want to poke. Pepinero is the guy in the front. He got that blue buff now. Can they keep Gambit out in the open? Can he poke them down? Potentially give them the second dragon from there. That's going to be the tactic for Giants. Oh, look at Israel. It's basically what we got to do.
What they've got to do indeed. The Ward War is commencing here in and around the Baron pit as Gambit tries to keep Giants Gaming in the dark. It's 29 minutes in. The next dragon is about a minute away, so Gambit have to get in position to control that area of the map too. Giants, though, they're the ones who are trying to move around and make some plays, clear out the waves that have been pushed against them. Scuttlecrab goes down. Gambit Gaming actually eyeballing this Baron. Should just be able to bait this one. It's a little dangerous to start with Giants hot on their tails.
They simply just try and bait it because they want Giants to walk into the river where they don't see anything and then quickly turn around. They can do it now. If Betsy gets onto the backline now, they can see everyone. Or Eddie maybe with a binding. Then the fight is on and should be in favor of Gambit.
But Werlip, he's got the Meganar. The Frozen Tomb is down. Frederick taking the Baron damage. Yeah, he's going to make a move to get away as the house comes down to the back of his head. A teleport comes in. Eddie going to turn around. Oh, the Soul Shackles onto Pepinero. He's exhausted as well. But down goes Eddie. Audrey maybe soon to follow. Cabochard not making it happen. But meanwhile, in the back, Gambit Gaming were cleaning up. Werlip and Frederick are down, and they go right back to the Baron. -1 support. I don't know if Peppy can pull off this steal. It'd be a hell of a one if he can try it a little bit early. This time it's not going to happen.
That's still really low. His red buff as well. He should go in for this one here. He might be able to clean up Gambit.
Yeah, Rydell's there as well. Gambit actually trying to peel off of this one. Peppy, oh, look at that damage on Diamond Prox. Moves back in, and he gets taken out by the Baron. Pepinero going to pick up the kill credit, and the Baron is going to go so low, go down. No, they're going to get the kills, and the ace, a triple for Cabochard, and it was so close for Giants. But close doesn't get you the Baron.
Oh, Giants, they wanted everything there. They wanted the kills and the Baron. They should just purely focus on Gambit. Don't try and take it when you have no smite either. So first of all, Wallop jumping in, Betsy ults himself, then flash away. So this is not a good start for Gambit. Eddie even being poked down quite a lot. But then he tries to turn it around. Pepinero is forced to jump the wall, so he's now out of the fight. Obviously, Adric goes down while they're fighting down here near the Baron itself. Here's the thing, though. Red buff, blue build Ezreal. You should not try and finish the Baron chase the kills instead. You've gotten them so low. Get the kills first. Don't try and go for everything. First one here. Diamond will go in and see if he can smite it. Baron kills him. And here, Pepinero. No, keep going for these. Pinoy is super low. Bets is super low. There's one hit, one Mystic shot.
Yeah, he just didn't have nearly enough damage. You can see now, Gambit, they're pushing their edge forward after that big pick there. Thanks to Cabo Shard and the rest of Gambit Gaming, they take yet another dragon. That will be their third of the game.
And I got the Baron.
Yeah, and they have the Baron on a few members. I mean, Giants, they're in dire straits.
Such a tough decision. I understand Pepinero not saying, I don't want to jump into the cannon as well. So I'm just going to try and take this Baron and then maybe back away. But
I mean, they weren't on the same page. Audrey
went
forward to get the kill, and he had no backup, and that's what allowed Gambit to blow them up.
That's where like this split decision making comes in. And it's so tough because everyone on your team is just yelling, go Baron, no, kill them, go Baron, no, kill them. And it's really, really tough to make the right decision for him. He tried to take the Baron instead. Didn't work. Gambit got it, got the kills. Third dragon, still 10,000 gold ahead for them.
Yeah, quite the lead in their favor. It's 32 minutes into the game, and this action has been non-stop. Now it is Giants making the offensive move, trying to take down this top tier 2. But there is a Cabo Shard there. The Baron-empowered minions helping him out. Here comes Pinoy looking for Pepinero. He pops the Ren really early. Just going to be able to clear the waves. Peppy doesn't want any of that.
No, we got some good AD now for Pinoy with that BT. So these Ren stacks really start to hurt. They're pushing up once again for Gamside. You have the Baron buff. Just go fight together because Giants won't really be able to engage on you from their own base. Just watch your two flanks. Eddie's there now doing it. And then you can just push in.
Yeah, push in very quick indeed. Thanks to that Callista, the rest of Gambit Gaming are able to take out that tower. Diamond now can dash his way out with the Vault Breaker, but Gambit aren't done just yet. They have some options. They could push on the bottom side, but they're trying to bait Giants into a fight to take down this inhibitor.
See Giants. The side lanes is slowly pushing that they don't really care about those. They just want to go straight for this inhibitor here. And potentially, if Giants want to fight now, well, that's not going to work because Gambit can see you engage.
And they get the inhib. There's really nothing they could do to stop that one. The siege is just a little bit too ridiculous to deal with, and the lead is so heavy. They're going to go ahead and split their attention. A few on the bottom, a few on the top. And actually just clear out the jungle of Giants Gaming. They're not going to be able to grab anything back.
Take everything. Belongs to you. And it's funny with Gambit because we've seen them being this far ahead beforehand, and then in the start of the split they had trouble closing out the games, and they would always like walk around a little bit and really try and push the lead. But this game they've really put a lot of focus on 1-3-1-ing because they were so far ahead. They got the Baron secured as well, even though they had to fight for it. They got it. Now inhibitors, so they're not waiting around. They're basically saying, we know we are a lot stronger than you are. Especially our top laner with 8 kills is pretty happy at the moment.
I think you have some serious cause to be. 2-2 on Kennen. It's not too shabby at all. Gambit Gaming looking to push on the top side now. See Eddie, Pinoy, and Cabo Shard all there. Remaining members not too far behind. They've sent Werlib on Giant side down bottom to deal with this wave building up against them. But he's going to have to get in there pretty quickly if he wants to defend this push by Gambit. He's got the teleport. He might have to use it. And there are super minions streaming into the base as well.
Frederick and Rydell hoping for someone like Eddie to maybe walk in first and not popping the black shield. He was smart enough to put the pull down. Super minions pushing. Should be another tower for Gambit. Just go 5 together.
No problem.
At this point as well, you can just tower dive if you want to. You don't have to. That's why they're not doing it. But you have a Vi, Lissandra diving onto like Ezreal or Corki. You will be able to lock them down.
Yeah, and I feel like Giants know this too. So Frederick's going to be the one locked up by the Dark Binding, but that tower, for the price of a minion wave, it's already at half of its health. Yeah, it'll regen, but that'll be a little bit slowly. I don't think Giants Gaming have that kind of time on their hands anymore. Gambit going to keep pushing in, even tanking a little bit of that tower. 2 minutes till the next dragon, but we may not get there at this rate. Werlib still trying to push back the super minions in the top, or in the middle, I should say, and back in the top. Gambit's back at it.
Black shield, your 80 carry, take down tower. There we go. Oh,
yep, and the fight's going to get started. Rydell, he's going to go a little bit low. Frederick going to try to be the hero. Diamond is caught in the pit with him, but there's havoc on all sides. Werlib, Meganar, but Rydell, he's already gone down. Frederick soon to follow. There's the Fate's Call. Edward, they throw him in. Frederick flags way back. The shutdown. They're going to be able to pick up a kill there. Audrey with that double now. Have they pushed Gambit Gaming back? Betsy, Pinoy, Edward all dead. but Werlib and Rydal are as well, so Gambit are going to back away from that one. They didn't secure the inhib.
No, but that was close to the perfect fight for Giants. The guy that flashed Tibbers on Betsy, he didn't even ult or flash or anything. He's going to die first. So now suddenly that threat for you AD carries is gone. He's going to die here. There we go. And they get a great setup, honestly. The ulti from Cabochard, they managed to back out of that one as well. So it's looking great. And we're just going to see Pinoy diving on. He pulls in Eddie and overthrows him, or Eddie himself. And instead, Pinoy gets taken down. Frederick even stays alive. So Giants got a great fight. Still traded 3, or 2 for 3 in this case. Defend inhibitor. Now, I almost feel like they have to go straight Dragon, set up the wards around it, and just hope Gambit is being a little bit overconfident maybe, and just walk in alone to start seeing what's going on, and then you kill them and potentially go for like Baron, but yeah, obviously Baron is spawning as well, so Gambit is just going to say, we can give you Dragon, we're just going to take Baron for it, so...
Yeah, so even not really
any options, no, for Giants to gain anything.
It's really difficult for them to get an advantage off of that fight. They have to stay back and defend. There's still supers pushing up in the middle. And you saw a couple of them recalling after that. They didn't really have a chance to get in there. They did ward around their jungle in the side of the Dragon, but that's not going to give them anything right now because Gambit, they're the ones occupying the top side. They're more interested in this Baron, as you mentioned. Why
is Pinoy having a more than Mortis against double AD carries and Jarvan and Gnar?
That is a good question.
Anyhow,
he needs more swords.
He's so far ahead he can do whatever he wants. But that one is not going to be too effective for him, that's for sure.
Maybe against Rydal. He's afraid of getting blown up. 2 members now on this Baron. A lot of spears sticking in the back. Cabochard's going to join as well. And that one is not going to be contested at all. The Rend procs and the Baron goes down this time without a fight by Giants Gaming. So another 3 minutes of Baron enhanced minions.
Yeah.
As well as that extra boost.
And a Dragon coming in as well, just for safety. So you got that 5th Dragon option if needed, but when your cannon is already sitting on 4 or 5 items completed now, going towards a Rylai's as well. 10 kills. You are not looking for the 5th Dragon. You are looking to go towards the base of Giants now. Get that mid inhibitor first and get the top lane. Wait for super minions, get the last one and win the game.
4 out of 5 Dragons, 2 out of 2 Barons. Gambit, they've controlled the objectives quite well. The only one they gave up was that Miracle Steal by Pepinero, and I don't know if he's going to be able to pull off any of those anytime soon. Nothing really on the map for them to take as Gambit have gobbled it all up. The rocket will come in, pound Cabochard in the head, but that's not for that much damage. You can see Gambit Gaming, even after that fight, losing by going a little bit too ham. They should be in a good space to push in once again. There's 2 naked inhibitors, one on the top, one in the middle. Where will Gambit go?
Almost doesn't matter for them. Should be the same after all. Diamond has been pushing bot lane now, so you got minions in every lane, buffed up with this Baron. He's already getting some damage on the tower.
Giants aren't moving fast enough. They're going to try to fight in the middle. There's a lot of damage. The Gnar against the wall. Betsy, he throws down the Zhonya's after the fact. Eddie's the one who gets pulled back. They didn't manage to get the kill. Werlib still trying for the team, but he's going to go down. It's a double kill for Cabochard. Where did Giants Gaming go? Pepinero staying alive, but his team is no longer going to be standing behind him, at least not for 30 seconds. Gambit Gaming, they are pushing through Giants base, and it's in shambles.
Yeah, got minions coming here in the mid lane, already buffed up with the Baron. Will be the finish for Gambit Gaming.
That is looking like it right now, Deficio. Just shy of 40 minutes into this game, Gambit with a massive offensive move. See hero, kill hero, and they killed a lot. GG to them.
All around, just a solid performance from Gambit. They got the lead early on. They kept the lead. They won the lane swap, everything. They pushed all lanes. Pretty clear victory for them. And for Giants now, we're still looking at that fact that MYM is 1 win behind them. They won't face them because they already played them twice. They're 1-on-1.
There's no tiebreaker scenario, but still, you've got to be careful if MYM keeps winning games. But for Gambit, they've got to be pretty happy with that one. It's about as clean as it can get. Maybe outside of the H2K victory we saw right before that one. And they did make some mistakes. Admittedly, they overchased in some situations. You mentioned when they didn't have to dive and they dove up on top.
Yeah.
So, it's not quite as surgical, but they're definitely getting there.
Yeah, I think Gambit said, okay, at around 15, 18 minutes, we are really far ahead. let's just play it out, you know, we don't have to be 100% focused anymore, 100% try out, and then sometimes you do make some very, very